In a quiet village in Edo State, Nigeria, there lived a girl named Omoruyi. Her beauty was like no other, her skin glowed like polished bronze, and her smile could warm even the coldest heart. When she walked, heads turned. She was admired from afar. But behind all that beauty was a pain no one could see. You see, Omoruyi carried a terrible secret. A strange disease that made her smell so badly, no herbs, soaps, or perfumes could hide it. No matter how often she bathed in the stream, the stench returned. And because of this, no man wanted her. Her two sisters, Ihaiman and Osase, were already married, living in peace with their husbands and children. But Omoruyi was alone. In her room, in her thoughts, and in her sorrow. She often cried herself to sleep, whispering into the darkness. Why me? What did I do wrong? Am I cursed? And then, one day, she gave up. With a rope in hand and tears in her eyes, Omoruyi walked deep into the forest. She found a tall tree, tied the rope to a branch, and prepared to end her pain once and for all. But just as she was about to take her life, she heard something. It was the soft beat of a drum. Dum, 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 dum. A barefoot man emerged from the trees, dusty and worn, with nothing but a drum slung over his shoulder. His name was Osaro. He looked at her gently and said, "My sister, what are you doing? Please, don't do this." But Omoruyi, her heart heavy, replied, "Leave me. I have nothing to live for." And Osaro said, "You have life. And you're not alone." From that moment, something changed and they became friends. She began to visit him. Often. He would play his drum, and she would dance. For the first time in a long time, she smiled. One day, as the sun was setting behind the trees, Osaro looked at her and said, "I want to marry you." Omoruyi laughed in disbelief. "Me? Even with this smell?" But he smiled and replied, "Yes. Because I see your heart." And he meant it. He sold his drum, his only source of income. He sold his clothes, his wrappers, even his shoes. He used everything he had to pay a native doctor for a special sacrifice to cure her. And it worked. The smell was gone. Completely. Omoruyi was finally free. Now, she dressed like a queen. Her skin glowed, her wrapper was rich red with gold embroidery, and her neck was layered with coral beads. Men began to notice her again. This time, they came to ask for her hand. And just like that, she forgot the one who saved her. She stopped visiting Osaro. He waited under their tree, but she never came. Until one day, he went to her. "Omoruyi, why don't you come anymore?" he asked. She looked at him coldly and said, "You're too poor for me now. When I marry someone wealthy, I'll pay you back for everything you did." His heart shattered. Time passed, and the smell returned. But this time, it was worse. The men fled. The villagers whispered once more. The men flee and she was alone again. An elderly female friend told her of a powerful king in a faraway land, a king with the power to heal. With the last of her strength, Omoruyi made the journey. And when she reached the palace, she knelt before the throne and begged, "My king, please help me. I'm sick." The king stood from his seat and said, "Raise your head, Omoruyi." She looked up, and her heart stopped. It was Osoro, the same man she had once called too poor. He now wore a royal robe, held a golden staff, and sat on the throne of the land. The king says, "You see, long ago, when Osoro played his drum in that village, the old king saw the birthmark on his hand. That mark," he said, "you are my lost son." And when the old king died, Osoro became the new ruler. Omoruyi dropped to her knees, sobbing, "I was wrong, please forgive me. Take me to the native doctor. I'm dying." But the king said calmly, "The sacrifice had to be renewed every 2 years. But you left, because I was poor." She wept bitterly. But the past could not be undone. And that, dear listener, is how the story of Omoruyi ends, the girl who had everything, but wanted more. Now let me ask you. If you were Omoruyi, what would you have done? Would you have stayed with the one who loved you at your lowest? Or would you have followed the world that only loved your beauty? And if you were the king, would you forgive her? Would you save her life again? What lesson did you learn from this story? Share your thoughts in the comments. Because in this life, nobody knows tomorrow. Subscribe for more African folktales. Until next time, keep your heart open and your spirit humble.